Hey there, comic colleagues and superhero supporters. Did you know that Crispus Allen, the Spectre, almost had a run-in with the Joker? Did you know he almost had a run-in with a bullet as well? Interested? Well, then let me tell you about it. Today we'll be continuing Crispus Allen's journey as the Spectre in Infinite Crisis Aftermath, The Spectre, Issue 2. We begin this ominous issue with Chris, now more accustomed to the Spectre persona, visiting a man by the name of Peter Strutz. Having severed multiple heads in his criminal career, Peter's divine punishment, ironically, is to lose his head himself. Once the deed is done, Chris and the Spectre take to the streets. On their walk through the city of Gotham, Chris confronts the Spirit, questioning him about their purpose and how their crusade helps the cause of justice. When the Spirit responds that they aren't helping justice, but are in fact justice itself, Chris berates him with more questions and even mocks God in the process. Chris claims that there is no logic, no grand design, and no meaningful pattern to their work. The spirit of the Spectre doesn't take too kindly to these words being said by Chris, so he decides to show him the pattern. We then peer into Crispus's past as a patrolman in the city of Metropolis. In this memory, Chris takes a call from an elderly woman who is complaining about an unseemly odor coming from an unoccupied room in her apartment complex. After calming down the concerned citizen, Chris takes a look into the room himself. He is startled to find that the room is filled to the brim with dead bodies, all having smiles carved into their faces. He first believes these murders to be the work of the Joker, having relocated to Metropolis for some nefarious purpose. But later, he learns it to be a copycat that was enamored with the clown Prince of Crime. Unfortunately, the man was never caught. Watching the memories unfold, Chris claims that there was no arrest, no justice, and no pattern. But the Spirit retorts that actually Chris is the pattern. He is the key, and without him, there is no pattern. Uncertain of what the Spirit is attempting to teach, Chris takes some alone time to let everything marinate. While alone, he decides to pay Weiss a visit. However, this time things are drastically different. As Chris eavesdrops on the demonic man's most recent ritual, Weiss looks up and speaks to him. Chris is stunned by this and asks Weiss how he can see him. Weiss responds that he can see Chris because he knows where to look. He then begins to explain that he does these rituals in order to see more and to be aware on a grander scale. But before more can be said, the Spirit of Vengeance arrives. Chris protests to the Spirit, claiming that Weiss should be the next victim of the Spectre, but the Spirit declines. He then whisks Chris away to a hostage situation in progress. The two enter the building and spot that not only is there a hostage situation, but there's also a murder that's about to take place. A gun is fired, and quick on his feet, Chris attempts to jump in front of the bullet, but the angered Spirit stops him. The Spirit then claims that mercy, charity, and sacrifice are all worthy concerns, maybe even the most worthy, but they are not the concerns of the Spectre. And with that being said, the bullet flies past Chris and hits the victim directly in the head. The criminal, Robert Ullman, is then punished by shooting himself in the head, leaving Chris to ask, why? The Spirit responds, crime, punishment, justice. If there is no crime committed, then there is no punishment, and in turn meaning that there is no justice. As the Spectre, they are not here to stop crime, but to punish those that commit it. That is his will. We then jump to one of Chris's sons speaking to a shady character at a basketball court. He asks if the character brought it. The character responds with yes, and then hands him a gun. Well, there you have it. We peek into Chris's past and also see him inadvertently dodge a bullet. Come back next week to see the exciting conclusion of Infinite Crisis Aftermath, The Spectre, in Issue 3. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and a comment. Also, make sure to follow and subscribe for more comic coverage.